Hi, YouTube. Hey, this is Christian Brindle, Medicare health plan expert and specialist. Today I'm going to be talking to you about Medicare supplements in Alabama, in Sweet Home, Alabama. And we're going to be starting off looking at Birmingham, Alabama. So I pulled this zip code from Birmingham, Alabama. Let's just take a look now. For those of you who aren't aware, Medicare supplement plans are going to be your numerical plans that essentially come through and pay the gaps and the holes and the 20% of things that Medicare does not cover, things like hospital stays, doctor visits, things along that nature. And so there's different Medicare supplement plans that exist that is designed by the government that will essentially pay different amounts of what Medicare leaves behind. The most popular plan we probably have today is a Plan G. A Plan G pays everything that Medicare leaves behind with the exception of a one-time-a-year deductible of $203. Medicare supplement plans are what's known as standardized. So what this means is if a Medicare supplement plan is standardized, it is designed by the government, the benefits are in place, and every single insurance company that offers a Plan G, the benefits are exactly the same. The plan is exactly the same. The insurance company can control, number one, how much they charge for this plan. Number two, how much the price increases will be going forward. And typically Medicare supplements do experience yearly price increases. So without further ado, let's just jump right into this. I'm going to start off by looking for a Plan G for a female that is turning 65. So let's just jump right in and see which insurance companies are looking competitive and which ones are not. Now, one thing I will typically tell you is usually when you're looking, so based on my description a second ago, it might come across as in, well, if they're all the same plan, I should just get the cheapest one, right? Not necessarily. And here's what I mean by that. If you're just getting the cheapest plan, normally what you'll find is companies that have, some of the cheapest rates, like some examples here, are usually companies that you have not heard of, or they're not very familiar names. The reason for that is because I call these companies ankle biters. That's essentially what I refer to them as. They're smaller companies that throw out these incredibly low prices that nobody can compete with. They do that because they're just fishing for people that are looking for the lowest price. Then, once they start paying out claims, sometimes they can't sustain it and the prices go up through the roof and the rate increases end up being very high. So one might ask, well, Christian, can't I just change the plan when the prices go up? Well, when you first get onto Medicare, you're in an open to Medicare window where you can get any plan you want, no health questions, no underwriting. But once you're outside of that window, let's say you're 66, 67, 68 if you got on Medicare at 65, then you have to go through health questions and underwriting to be able to change from one plan to another. So if your health does not allow it, you could potentially be stuck with that plan, and no one knows what the future holds with our health. It's just nothing we want to play games with. So I'm always looking for large, credible, well-known insurance companies with a good rate increase history. I'm going to click on what's known as market analytics here on this quoter, and we're going to see a little bit of information. So with this first company we see here, United States Fire Insurance Company, here's what I noticed right off the bat. Product just started 6/1 of 2020, so it's brand new to the market. Doesn't even have rate increase or market share data available because it's so new. Just not enough information there for me to feel very comfortable with it if it was me. Then we got Independence, American Insurance Company. Same story. The effective date for this one was 7/16 of last year, 2020. I'm recording this in 2021. I kind of feel the same way. There's no market data or rate increase data. Capital Life Insurance Company, same thing, right? It's the same story. You'll notice that a lot of these smaller companies typically don't necessarily have the data that we want. Now, here's one that's been around for long enough to have some data, so that's good. 2 rate increases, it's only 2.5%, so that's not awful. However, what worries me is, as of 2019 anyway, now this is a little bit of old data, they only had 67 customers in the whole state. So that means if 2 people have dialysis or cancer and they start paying out claims, that could kind of throw the whole thing out of whack. I mean, I don't know. I don't like to see that much that little amount of market share, if you will. Makes me think the company is very small. I like companies that can essentially spread the risk around, and the data backs that up. And we'll get to that in a little bit here. The Manhattan Life Insurance Company, I like them a lot for some other products, but for Medicare Supplement, I have concerns, and as you can see from the data over here. Lumico is a company that's been around a little while, but in this particular market, it doesn't look like they have a huge footprint. And you kind of get the picture, right? So like State Farm, they probably don't look too bad. This is an example. United Healthcare's Medicare Supplements. So if you look in this market, they have a significant amount of rate increases. Look at their market share. They have 33,000 customers. They have 20% of the market share, 30% nationwide, with 4.1 million customers. Now, this is back in 2019. I assure you these numbers are higher. Look at their rate increase data. Anybody that wants to tell you that this isn't a factor isn't a fan of data. So they went down 14% in 2020, had a 6% rate increase. They have a negative 0.9 rate increase average, which means on average, they're lowering your price the last 3 or 4 years, according to this data. I like to see that. Also, typically they are a company that will give you some extra benefits. Like a lot of places, they'll give you a gym membership. Most Medicare supplements don't. They'll give you vision discounts, hearing discounts. Most companies don't. In some markets, they'll give you dental discounts. Most companies don't. And they're definitely the biggest 600-pound gorilla company out there. So the data backs that up, that big companies can spread risk around better than smaller companies. Now, let's say I was looking at a different plan. Let's say I was looking at a Plan N, for example. A Plan N is a very popular plan as well. It has the same deductible as the Plan G, the one-time-a-year $203 deductible. It comes with an up to $20 doctor copay. Could be less, depending on the doctor visit. And it comes with a $50 emergency room copay, as well as does not pay what's known as the Medicare Part B excess charges, which is essentially if the doctor wants to tack on anything additional to that. So it's another popular plan. The premium's lower. It's just a nice alternative. So let's look at that. So same kind of deal. Some of these smaller companies are the ones that come up with the lowest rates. State Farm does not look too bad from my first glance. So you kind of go down and take a look at this here, and you see the premiums are a bit lower. They're in the 80s, if not maybe 90s. New Era is a company that maybe doesn't have the size, but they typically are an exception. They have a pretty good track record with a lot of things, and they're a company that we like to work with quite a bit. Let's see here. Everything looks good. Omaha Insurance Company, that's Mutual of Omaha. So they're a very large company. But they don't always have the friendliest rate increase histories. It just kind of depends on the market and the situation. And there's United Healthcare once again. A little bit higher than some, but the rate is competitive. And the rate increase history speaks for itself. And so anyway, folks, I hope that this gives you a good idea of what might be available. Here's Continental Life with Aetna, which is Aetna. This particular block of business looks like it's only had one rate increase, which is 8%, which is not usually their norm. Sometimes we see them be a little bit lower than that, but we enjoy working with them as well. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this kind of gave you a good idea of what might be available in Alabama. Male rates are probably going to be slightly higher than female rates for most insurance companies. Most insurance companies determine that females are healthier than males at Medicare age, and they're probably right when they say that, me being a male. And anyway, folks, if you'd like to talk about a Medicare supplement plan, feel free to reach out to us at our office. We work with people in 38 states, and Alabama is one of them, the great state of Alabama. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, do me a favor, drop a like on it so more people like you can find it easier. Comment your thoughts. What did you think about what we talked about here today? And make sure to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified when we upload new videos about Medicare and educational videos. And we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching.